Hey, I'm not Average Joe. If you haven't seen me for a couple weeks, I know my skinniness is really apparent, and yes, I know I kind of look like a turtle, but if you can't laugh at it, you're not going to make it through. So it's been a tough, I don't know, four or 5 days or so. Just the double chemo, back-to-back chemo's finally caught up with me. I still don't have like hardly any white blood cells, so every little ailment, including my toe that I can barely walk on, and some kind of muscle pull in my ribs, and the list goes on. I don't need to bore you with all that, but something's been standing out to me and is more apparent to me than it ever has been before. And I've talked about this before, probably even in a vlog, but the Apostle Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, he basically pleads to the Lord to take what he calls a thorn in the flesh away. And that thorn was some kind of weakness, and Jesus responds to him and says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." And later on, a couple verses later, Apostle Paul says, "Therefore I delight in weaknesses, insults, persecutions, etc., because he knows that when I'm weak, then I'm strong." And this is just a hard course, because I just have felt weaker and more torn up than I ever have before in my life. And yet it's in that weakness that somehow there's this mysterious upside down exhibition of God's strength. Even some of you have shared with me how God's just been doing stuff in your life. And I just want to encourage you to not cover it up and try to be the strong man or strong woman, but be willing to be weak, because that's truly when God shows up. It doesn't always feel perfect, but I mean, there was nothing different about today except, I don't know, somehow I felt a little bit stronger. But even as I'm saying that, I'm having a tough time holding up this video as I'm talking through it. I'm holding up with two hands. But my prayer for you and for I is that we could be weak and we can find his true strength, and somehow mysteriously in that he can let the world know who he is, moment by moment, person by person. Thank you for your prayers, even in some of these little ailments. I'll be getting shots starting tomorrow to hopefully help boost my immune system. Somewhere in the next week or two, I'll get another bone marrow biopsy to see how this chemo did with the cancer. And until then, I'm not Average Joe. You're not Average Joe. There's the finger. Peace.